We've got four actors out here. We've got a pitcher. We've got the hitter. We've got the catcher. We've got the umpire. Pitcher throws the pitch. Catcher catches it. Hitter's frozen, realizes it's strike three and starts to walk away. And then the umpire forgets his lines and says what? So what did the umpire say? Ball, right? So that's a four-letter word as far as catching people go, right? This pitch, this 2-2 slider, had a 93.6 probability of being called a strike, was called a ball. Now don't worry, Max Scherzer still struck the guy out on the next pitch. It was another slider, 3-2. We just need to figure out as catching coaches, how are we going to not let that happen again? That's the challenge that we have, because we're dealing with humans, right? Now, how do we create these elite receivers? For me, this is the what, why, and how of it. What is going to be the issue? Something happened. What is the issue? Okay, identify that. Why is this happening? And then most importantly, how can we, along with the catcher, and I stress along with the catcher, fix or remedy the problems that are at hand? That's the million-dollar question. We have to get out of our own way sometimes and get out of our own lens to identify what the catcher does well, what he does poorly, and then how can we actually get him to do what we want him to do, okay? Some guys with their flexibility, their mobility, with their size, with their just general ability, have trouble doing certain moves. So we have to be adaptive ourselves as coaches to be able to give the guys the freedom to figure out what moves they have to make. I think that's a big challenge, because we always like to look at something in our own lens. And if we can get out of our own way sometimes, we can make things a lot easier on ourselves. This is a heat map of the umpires, major league umpires. The strike zone itself is more oval or round than it is square or rectangular. The challenge is that the umpire's opinion becomes fact. We're playing to this guy's eyes a ton, okay? There's some challenges that they have. The toughest balls for them to settle on are the ones where it goes inside to a right-hander, because they're supposed to sit over the top shoulder or the inside shoulder based on their concussion stuff. And if the hitter's in there and the catcher's in there and there's no lane for them to see, they're not going to be able to really call pitches, because if they can't see it, they're not going to call it a strike, okay? We know that down is harder for them to see than up. We're going to enlist our friend Bob Ross, okay? He's going to paint some really nice landscapes. We're going to get to learn this umpire, right? We're going to go out there today, start catching. Oh, he's not giving us that pitch. All right. Well, we got to kind of build some trees here. We're just trying to create the best picture we can for the umpire. And, you got to learn each day. So the stance variability, the different techniques, learning, some days you got to catch it out in front further. Some days you can catch it deeper. Maybe some days you have to stick it as old school as you can get. Some days you can manipulate the strike zone as much as you want. We just need to be adaptive to what the umpires are going to give us. Traits of elite receivers. These are heat maps of different guys. Some guys are really good at the top. Some guys are really good at the bottom. Some guys are better on the side. Some guys are good almost all the way around. Some guys are horrible all the way around. There's different flexibility and mobilities. There's different sizes. Everybody's going to be a little bit different. I just threw down some thoughts on traits of guys. I can guarantee there's probably 50 or 100 more, easily 50 or 100 more, to get an elite guy, because their adaptability and their ability to just figure out, okay, this environment tells me this environment tells me this.